Malaysian culture, food, costumes, languages, festivities. Officially, that is. But what about the unofficial one that we all know it exists, but secretly we kind of filter it out when our Mat Saleh friends come to look at the KLCC? Yep, Rempiting. This scene has really matured over the past 20-30 years. Modified gears, GoPro camera, cool helmet design. Wow, at least got wear helmet. Well, you know what else has evolved in the Rempit culture? Age limit. Last week, 8 children aged between 13 and 17 years old were killed in a horrific accident. Like those kids you just saw in the video, these Mat Lajas were racing on a dark highway past midnight when a 22-year-old driver rammed into them.
8 teenagers were killed while another 8 were injured when the car rammed into them while they were riding their bicycles early Saturday.
Now, before we go on to talk about this, let's just take note that everyone in this case is so young. How is anyone going to live with the fact that he or she killed 8 lives, be it your fault or not? Mat Rempit dying on the road is not really news. Malaysians are pretty numb to hearing about the death toll. But this one in Johor shook the nation, because clearly the age limit imposed on riding motorcycles is not even a barrier anymore. Even bicycles can get you on. What's even more shocking is that these kids were already following the footsteps of a full-fledged Mat Rempit. They know how to modify their bicycles, lowering handlebars, removing the brakes. Check this out.
Dia orang sendiri modify lah. Kasi fork pasang dekat bar dekat fork sini lah. Jadi rendahkan itu handle.
There was a lot of speculation as to who should take the blame. Disclaimer, I didn't conduct a survey large enough to talk about a majority view. But since we live on the internet, maybe the comment section will bring us some wisdom. First target, the driver. This one says if the car was traveling at a reasonable speed and turned on the headlights, there is no way you can miss a big band of cyclists and ram into them like bowling pins. Some others urgently reminded us about the importance of footwork. And finally, the fact that it happened by the cemetery. Maybe it's just bad feng shui? As for the young cyclists, well, the common verdict is they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Oh, but come on, we've all done dumb things at that age. The cool stuff will only start to feel more and more stupid as the years pass. Research has shown that psychologically, adolescents' brains are not developed enough to cope with peer exclusion compared to when they become adults. Meaning, if your friends are doing Superman, Spider-Man, Willy or whatnot on a bicycle, the little 15-year-old you will do exactly that just to feel accepted. And so, the buck gets passed on to the child's parents. Why is your kid out so late at night? Don't you know who they hang out with? You don't spend enough time with them. You're a terrible parent. Hey, these so-called bad parents, their kids died. A little compassion, please? No doubt parents should take an interest in their child's social life and guide them when necessary. But that's if parents have any attention to spare for them. If you have 6 children to feed and only 2 persons working to make ends meet, giving everyone attention is like playing Diner Dash. On the enforcement side, police have been raiding Rempit parties for many years. Some even died on duty when Mat Rempit tried to zoom past roadblocks. But the culture is still unfortunately flourishing and now breeding new blood among junior division. Meanwhile, on the very same day the accident happened, our PM announced the allocation of 30 million bucks to build a racetrack in Kedah. And I quote PM, "They can race all they want on the track then." What? That 30 million could have gone into education, rehab programs, healthcare, and even youth sports. And come on, these guys are on the roads because they are thrill seekers. You think they're gonna want to race in a playground? The same applies to Kunan's suggestion last year to close some roads in KL for illegal racers to race. Well, I guess you can't fault them for trying at least. The Home Ministry, meanwhile, is thinking of coming up with new laws to enable the police to deal with youths who cause a nuisance in public. But then again, that's just treating the symptom and not the cause. You can despise the activity all you want, but there must also be an effort to understand that this ultimately boils down to an individual's background. And while we don't know much about the Mat Rempit juniors, it's been widely reported that Mat Rempits are from this demographic: young, urban poor, neglected, have no direction in life, and have no good role models. Clearly, just punishment isn't the answer. Society as a whole has failed to give these youths a reason to treasure their lives. As for this fatal case, everyone is a victim. Just saying.